Sound check, check. That's the podium, Daniel. Here.
Oh, where is everybody?
She jogs to get in front of everybody.
I was before her, for sure. Everybody knows that.
I was like, why are we in a race? Did I miss a memo?
Now that clock was not red and green, was it?
No, that's new. I noticed that right away. I'm like,
keep replacing it.
It should be blue and yellow.
I didn't notice the red and green last meeting.
Oh.
Are you sure?
No.
Yes, you were hallucinating, Jewel. No, and you hallucinated into reality. I saw it.
Oh, he's having too much fun.
I said, isn't that 8 o'clock? But we were leaving.
Oh.
Well, maybe it was the Girl
noticed
Scout.
that. I would never have noticed it.
I mean, I'm like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. It's fine. But it works with us today, right? Yeah. Didn't always have, it wasn't the accurate time before.
Okay.
Nobody's talking extra tonight because I need to get out of here.
Okay.
I agree.
Me too.
I had a 2.5-hour meeting this morning and I don't need a long meeting
I've been
tonight.
meetings all day.
Oh.
I've been in Sacramento for 2 days. I win.
Okay. But I'm having Mohs surgery tomorrow.
Oh, where? Jim had most of
Here.
them today. Well, see me, I got.
I know, I remember it.
Oh, most.
Yeah, and then of course they warn you. So they told me it's really close to your optic nerve.
Oh.
It's really close to the muscle that, makes your forehead move, wrinkle, move. And it's like, oh, okay, thank you very much. See you next week.
See, I didn't know anything. I thought, oh, they're just gonna go take this little teeny thing out. No.
Well, having seen yours, I realized that it's serious. And, and I realized that they're supposed to tell you, what will go wrong, so that you don't come back and say, well, you never told me that. I'm going to sue you now.
Informed consent.
Oh, and then my dog had surgery yesterday.
Oh, on what?
He had 4 teeth removed.
Oh,
poor
And then his best friend died yesterday, too.
oh, no.
It's been like a bad week. No, my dog. There's another dog in the neighborhood who's about the same age, and we walk them together.
Did he get to sniff his body?
No.
Oh, they're supposed to do that?
This dog had cancer, and so it was a matter of time, and then I think
Yeah, it's very sad. I know, I was talking to my physical therapist today. It's like, my dog's gonna be 6 already. Oh my, I can't even imagine life without him. We went through all of the stories. Yeah.
Loss, yeah.
Miserable. Where's Dave?
That's so unlike him.
There he is. Did you get in traffic, Dave?
Oh. Let's see what is
Inside.
Yeah,
you know, I saw that.
Maybe someone tried to steal it.
Did you forget your lock?
What's that?
Did you forget your
I
lock?
did.
Oh.
That's why I was like, is somebody gonna steal it?
Yeah. In a high crime zone all of a sudden?
I would, actually, I did look at it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good evening. At this time, I'd like to call to order the closed session for February 25th, 2026. Let the record show all council members are present. I see no one in the audience. City Clerk, do we have any other speakers? All right, I will adjourn. We will now adjourn to closed session. New clock?
See,
Probably was, but I didn't see it.
that has been the talk
The clock?
No, I don't.
Why?
because they think it's new.
None of us noticed. I want Aurelia to tell me when they replaced it. I need justification. Either that or you're
colorblind?
Yeah, exactly. You can't see what's
It looks better.
You can't tell. Is it stop or go or?
Christmas.
If it's your colorblind, they look like the same color, presuming you're red and green.
It doesn't mean they were blind.
That's true. So I read my husband's.
You can't distinguish certain colors, and also there's different kinds.
What if you just see this, like Jim?
Yeah,
You see these very shades of
major events like graduation, a lot of the women will get together and jokingly force, not intentionally, but tell their husbands to wear a specific shirt.
Oh, yeah, and they all
And their
walk in.
husbands walk in and like, why is
They're
everybody
all
wearing the
wearing
same
the same
shirt I am?
shirt. My
So-
favorite one that I heard lately about with wives getting together and doing something to their husbands.
Anybody else have any? Yeah, thank you. They're all in the top drawer. They're all in the top drawer.
See, you're already stalling us.
I know, there's that.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I try not to switch persons until I'm like really all there. I think I've worn this purse, with clashing colors over the course of the last 3 weeks.
But you know, red you can do that, right? Or burgundy, you can do that. But I had a black purse, my normal fat black purse. And I was like, no, I'm switching purses.
The city clerk. But the agenda's right here. See it on here. It's supposed to be for tonight. So it was for who?
you doing?
That's fine.
Good. Good to see you.
How's everything going?
What's that?
How's everything going?
Good, good. Can't complain. How about you?
Oh, that sunset was beautiful.
Oh, I missed it.
Wow, it's still there. The thing was, is that I was in the Navy, of course, and I love to see the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
And you can barely see that there is a ship out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just barely there, and I'm going like, oh my God. What ship is that?
That's awesome. Whose is this?
they did talk to the city manager or somebody, and they said, yes, there was, but nobody at the desk knew. So she emailed up at the city manager, because nobody's here. I thought, but that's okay, they said there was, so, okay, I'll see you in a second.
Hey, Priscilla.
Hi.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're good. Are you going to say something, Michael?
Not to say something, but listen to
It's
watch.
just going to be, it's brief, you know, so.
That's
but
okay.
Thank you for being here.
I got family watching, so.
You're the wrong guy. Sounds like you're in the Bible.
Where's my inbox?
I'm sure they did. That's on top of a. Yes.
Yeah, and that's okay. I mean, it's just like,
Hey, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
Haven't seen you for a while.
I know.
Since that fire, remember that fire?
I know.
Whatever happened? Did they move back in? They probably moved back in.
The fire? You mean the car into the
Yeah, the car.
car in the building?
Yeah, that building.
I don't think they've gotten. I haven't seen anything coming to us for.
Oh, the one in Colony?
Yeah. I haven't seen anything. I know they were working with the insurance. I haven't heard anything.
I'll check with them.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
That's quite a.
No.
I stepped on the pedal for a while to go through that much.
I know.
Block wall, fence, and the house wall.
And part
It
of
was
it.
5 feet.
Yeah, and the tip was on the bed.
It was 5 feet from the property line, so I remember that far. I was surprised.
I didn't think she was probably trying to reverse, right?
No, I think she was even pulling in,
Yeah.
just pulling into the stall and instead of hitting the brakes, on the accelerators.
I thought she was having her hair done, or she had
Yeah,
her
she
hair
was
done.
going.
Oh, I thought she had it done.
She was going.
Oh,
I'm not about that.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Oh, you don't?
far, so I'm just glad I wasn't
Yeah.
ahead. She was talking about she just put on her shoes a few minutes before and walked away.
I could close your tight.
Divine intervention.
That's why I put like mom's walking over you.
Yes.
She said, I'm sitting friend with us.
That's the only thing.
She was shooken up. She was pretty shaken up. Hey, Angel. Hello. Thanks for sending me the video. I did share it.
oh,
I'm gonna sit here. Okay. Thanks for sending me the picture of Chester.
yeah.
Oh, I miss him. He was the best dog ever. Maybe I'll sit up here. I'll sit here.
I know, I guess I could. I'm just doing it the hard way, right? Oh, geez. We're all rolling Jewel, yes, Tracy.
Called with a friend of his like Sunday. That's what he said. She's like, why do you call me? She usually
Good luck with that. Did you have that thing for me to sign?
No, I have to get it from.
Okay. I will for And thanks for being there yesterday at the workshop. I think that's good.
Did you guys have like learning classes, or was it mainly just
Yeah, of course. And then any feedback you have, we'll also check nutrition as well.
All right.
Three more minutes. All right. Good evening, everybody. The February 25th, 2026 meeting of the Solana Beach City Council is called to order. Let the record show that all council members are present. City Attorney, are there any items to report from closed session?
No reportable action, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you please join me in the flag salute? Please stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we have no formal proclamations or presentations this evening, so that brings us to the approval of the agenda. City Manager, do you propose any changes to the agenda?
Madam Mayor, no changes tonight. Thank you.
Very good. May I have a motion to approve the agenda? Motion by Zito and second by, drumroll, Deputy Mayor McDonald. Please press the second button, please. There you go. All right, I'll call for the vote.
I'm missing one vote.
We're missing a vote. Everybody look and make sure it's green.
Now we got it.
Oh, good. Very good. All right. That is approved unanimously. Do we have any oral communication speakers?
One.
We do. Okay, so this is the portion of the agenda that provides an opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items relating to business, that is the city business, but not appearing on today's agenda. Pursuant to the Brown Act, no action shall be taken by the City Council on public comment items. However, Council may refer items to the City Manager for placement on a future agenda. The maximum time allotted is 3 minutes. Please watch the lights. Green means go, yellow means you have 1 minute, and red means please conclude. Please call the speaker.
Peggy Walker. And here's a handout. Thanks.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you all. I'm Peggy Walker with San Diego Alliance for Drug-Free Youth. We work in the community to make parents and students aware of the dangers of alcohol, tobacco, and marijuana and other drugs, and to keep their brains healthy until they mature about the age of 26. I'm here tonight with a public service informational message in conjunction with our sheriff's office. The sheriff has developed this flyer that we are helping share throughout the San Diego region. It's a warning about possibly mislabeled THC products. These are being sold in convenience stores, gas stations, liquor stores, and other places throughout the region. And the problem is, and why this matters, is that they are mislabeled, unauthorized products. Lab testing shows that they may contain high THC levels, synthetic cannabinoids, mushrooms, or other harmful contaminants that are not listed. Many are produced in China, exported here. They are banned in China, but they're happy to send them over here to harm our kids. So we want the public to know what's happening. Some of these products are listed on the flyer that I've shown you, but many are not. We just ask the community to be mindful that youth often access these intoxicating and addictive products from older peers and warn them that there can be dangerous and unpredictable side effects. So in addition to these, and on another note, there's also another product that doctors are warning about. It's nitrous oxide, sold in a canister like whipped cream. And doctors are warning that young children as young as 13 are coming in with burns from these canisters. The nitrous oxide is kept at a very cold temperature. So when kids use these canisters to blow up balloons or inhale it in their mouth, they're getting very serious cold burns from the cold nitrous oxide, but they're getting them on their thighs because they hold it there to blow up the balloons, or around their mouths, and they're being hospitalized, sometimes for extended periods. So nitrous oxide sold as products like Galaxy Gas. So several products that we just want our community to be aware of, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Peggy, for making us all aware of this. It's shocking what is able to be sold over the counter here. Really surprising. No other speakers for oral communications. Okay, now it's time for announcements. I'll start with mayor's announcements. I have quite a few here. We're pleased to share that construction on the Fletcher Cove Improvements Project is now complete. Thanks to Measure S funding, we've upgraded the beach access ramp, improved drainage, and added new shower features. I want to extend our thanks to our staff, lifeguards, and contractors for keeping the cove open and accessible throughout the project. We look forward to celebrating with a community ribbon cutting next month, and we'll share the date once it's set. Solana Striders. Join us for Solana Striders, our monthly walking club designed for mature adults who want to stay active, healthy, and connected. Our next walk is this upcoming Monday, March 2nd at 8:30 a.m. We'll meet here at the Solana Beach City Hall parking lot and enjoy a scenic stroll up to Fletcher Cove Park and circle back on Highway 101. This is a relaxed, welcoming experience for walkers of all ability levels. Just wear comfortable clothes, good walking shoes, and bring some water. If you'd like more details, contact the City of Solana Beach Parks and Rec Department at 858-720-2454, and we hope to see you there. San Diego County Fair Street Banner Photo Shoot. Solana Beach residents are invited to participate in the 2026 County Fair Street Banner Program. Join us for a community photo shoot next Tuesday, March 3rd from 4 to 5 p.m. at La Colonia Community Center. Dress as your favorite literary character and be featured on banners displayed along Highway 101 and Loma Santa Fe Drive. Each participant will receive 2 free fair tickets and their printed banner afterwards. For details or to reserve your spot, please contact our banner coordinator, Kayla Moschke, at Moschke, which is Moshki, at cityofsolanabeach.ca.gov, G-O-V. Free compost hub. Solana Beach now has a new self-serve community compost hub at the Public Works Yard located at 1764 Highland Drive. Residents can pick up free compost Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Just bring your own container and any tools you may need. This compost is produced through EDCO's Organics Recycling Program and is a great way to enrich your garden soil and support sustainability in our community. Solana Beach Kindness Drive. Solana Beach Cares is launching its first seasonal kindness drive of the year, the Spring Cleaning Supplies Drive. Throughout the month of March, they will be collecting new household cleaning items to support local families in need. Community members can drop off approved items at donation bins located at City Hall and the Solana Beach Library throughout the month. For a list of approved items, visit the city's website or sign up for weekly updates. And then finally, Senator Blake Spear check presentation. Last Friday, February 20th, Senator Blake Spear presented a check to the mayor and city council members for $300,000 for the Coastal Rail Trail Extension Project. This project will extend the CRT from its current terminus at the north end, close to Ocean Street, to the northern city boundary. And here's the gigantic check. There, yeah, Diana was there too. Thank you. There it is. Thanks, our thanks to the senator. We really appreciate it. This important project will provide the final pedestrian and bicycle link connecting the CRT, Harbaugh Trails, and the adjacent bicycle facilities to a future crossing over Highway 101 to the beach. The city thanks Senator Blake Spear for her continued support of this very important infrastructure project. A couple of notes on the council. I want to issue congratulations to Councilmember Edson for being vice chair of LoSAN, and to Councilmember Becker for achieving chair at LAFCO. Big deal, both of you. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate your service on those important regional committees. And just to point out, our councils, we got a presence in the region. Councilmember Zito is the chair of transportation at Sandag. Deputy Mayor McDonald is the chair of the San Diego River Valley, and I'm the chair of Sandag. So we make Solana Beach presence known in the region. On a sad note, since our last meeting, we lost 2 treasured Solana Beach residents. Dave Hodges, founder of the Belly Up, and Michael Mejia, lifelong La Colonia Eden Gardens resident and firefighter. Let me first honor Dave Hodges. Dave was a visionary. While looking for a place in Solana Beach to relax after work with friends, he and a business partner opened the Belly Up Tavern in September of 1974 in a former waterbed warehouse. Soon he added live music. At the time, many people told him he was crazy and his venture would go belly up. Well, we celebrated its 50th anniversary 2 years ago. The Belly Up grew into a world-famous 600-person capacity music venue that has hosted music legends and locals alike, from the Rolling Stones to Atomic Groove. Dave was the catalyst that transformed South Cedros Avenue from a flooded street with Quonset huts, small houses, and old warehouses. He had a vision, and he had to do some real convincing to get others to come along with him. But he was dedicated to improving Solana Beach, not just for his benefit, but for the larger community. Besides supporting and promoting the careers of many musicians, after Dave purchased the entire Quonset hut building, he prioritized renting to fledgling small businesses. He had a sixth sense about who would succeed, providing the opportunity to so many young entrepreneurs rather than doing the safe thing and renting to chain brand businesses. Dave created a different sort of shopping experience, one that stood the test of time. Dave contributed greatly to Solana Beach history, our economy, our culture, and our notoriety. May his vision live on in Solana Beach. And now, Councilmember Becker, would you like to do the honor of sharing about the life of Michael Mejia?
Thank you so much. Yes, the other cherished member of our community that we lost is firefighter Michael Mejia. Michael was a lifelong resident of La Colonia de Eden Gardens. He lived a life of service as a firefighter for over 30 years, serving in Del Mar and National City. He volunteered in our public schools. Apparently, he was instrumental in bringing an egg drop to schools where kids have to work together to try to protect their egg from breaking when it is dropped from a high place. He was also very generous in providing free or low-cost entrance tickets to the fair to people in the community for over 25 years. He was instrumental in coordinating emergency services between our fire services and the medical staff at the Del Mar Fair and the horse races. He leaves behind a wife and 2 daughters and many other family members who still live in La Colonia de Eden Gardens. If anyone is interested in attending his service, it's March 4th at St. James Church at 11 a.m. Immediately following the service, there will be a fire engine procession through La Colonia and Solana Beach to the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Michael will be missed by many.
Thank you so much. I will adjourn this evening's council meeting in both of the honors of Dave Hodges and Michael Mejia. Thank you. Council, any other announcements? Councilmember Edson?
Yes, I just wanted to let you know that March 7th and 8th, NCTD has announced an absolute work window. So there will be no train service on the Lausanne corridor between Oceanside and Santa Fe Depot. The AWW, the purpose of it is to perform repairs and work on capital improvement projects along the corridor. And my understanding is that this is the last one until the fall.
Okay, there have been quite a few.
Yes, they tried to front load it because what happens after this is a lot of holidays and special events. So it was trying to get the work done ahead of those things.
Very good. All right. Any other council announcements? City manager?
No announcements tonight.
Okay, very good. We will now go on to our consent calendar. Did anybody in the audience want to speak by any chance? I should ask that. No? Yeah, yes? Yes. If you could please state your name and then fill out a speaker slip once you're done.
Thank you. I didn't know exactly how this was going to go. Yeah. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council, staff, and residents. My name is Jeremy Day. I'm a battalion chief with the National City Fire Department. When I got hired in National City, Michael Mejia was actually my trainer. We came up together. He was my mentor. He became my brother. He guided me through my career, and then I became his captain and battalion chief at the end of his career. He was the definition of altruism. His reach, we knew he had a great impact. He was a big person. He was a great personality. But to see the impact, the outpouring of support, to hear that you were recognizing him here because of the egg drop, he also brought the egg drop to National City. He approached one of the middle schools. We have a 5-story training tower, and he said, Solana Beach has an egg drop. Why don't we have an egg drop here? I didn't know he was instrumental in starting it here. I think he had a plan. So yeah, I just wanted to thank you for recognizing him. The service specifically for the public is at 1:30 or 2 o'clock. That time is changing slightly at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, specifically at the Sound. That is the public event. The church event, we're trying to keep a little more private for friends and family because St. James is just not quite large enough. We're expecting a very large crowd at the Del Mar track. There will be 40 to 50 fire engines. There may be a flyover. This is going to be a very big event. So we thank you for all of your support. And if you would like to come out and join us, you're welcome to do so.
Thank you so much for being here to honor him. It's really a huge loss to many communities.
Very much so.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We go to the consent calendar. Items listed on the consent calendar are to be acted upon in a single action of the City Council unless pulled for discussion. Any member of the public may address the City Council on an item of concern on the consent calendar through the City Clerk. Items removed from the consent calendar by any member of the public will be discussed immediately following approval of the consent calendar, and any pulled by council will be trailed to the end of the agenda. City Clerk, have any members of the public pulled an item? No. Council, anybody want to pull an item? No. Okay, we have a motion to approve consent as is. A motion by Edson, second by Zito.
Sorry, I had a comment to make, though.
Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yes, I mean, and since Edson will be the motion maker, so I just wanted to point out with items J4 and J5, which are significantly increased spending measures, but the staff report didn't have a lot of details, so I was wondering, as part of the motion, if we could incorporate directing staff to come back on some sort of cadence, perhaps annually, at their discretion of how they would want to do that, just describing how these additional funds were spent. So are you willing to incorporate that as part of the motion?
Absolutely.
Thanks, and then I'll go ahead and second that. But I think this is great news. Shows that we're going to be able to do a lot of really good stuff to the traffic and engineering stuff that's important to our community members.
Yeah,
And thank you for bringing that up, because, you know, while we have spoken with staff and we understand that, it's really important to be transparent about it with the public. So thank you so much for amending or asking me to amend.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. I'll call for the vote. That passes unanimously. All right, we're now on to one of three public hearings. City Manager.
Yes, so item K1 this evening is a public hearing on 322 North Granados Avenue. This is a time extension 25-005. And this evening, our Community Development Director, Joe Lim, will be giving a short presentation and lead you into your consideration.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, City Council members. As the City Manager mentioned, this is a time extension request by Elise Dabby and Owen Nider. They are requesting a 12-month extension of a DRP and SDP that was approved by the City Council back in March of 2024. It included an interior remodel and addition, as well as a site improvements and to the existing residents. Plans have been submitted and have been ready for issuance, but it is requiring, they're under review, and they are just asking for a 12-month extension for them to get through the building plan review process. With that, staff would recommend that you open the public hearing, and then if you can make the required findings, adopt Resolution 2026-011, extending the expiration to March 13th, 2027. I will note there was a blue folder item that was released that originally the staff report said for 8 months. They are requested a full 12-month extension at this time.
Very good. I will open the public hearing, and we'll first go to disclosures. I was on the council that approved this project. I have no other disclosures.
I also was on the City Council when this project was approved, and I have no other disclosures.
Ditto.
I was on the council that approved this project, and I have no new disclosures.
Same. Okay, very good. Any questions of staff? No questions of staff? Okay, the applicant, if you're here, you may come up and make a presentation. You have 15 minutes.
I'm Elise Dabby. I'm the applicant. I'm just here to answer any questions.
You can just move this down.
Hello. Okay.
There,
Hi,
that's
I'm
better.
Elise Dabby, one of the applicants. I'm here to answer any questions. I have nothing to present, but I am here for questions.
Very good. Council, do you have any questions of the applicant? No. Okay, you may have a seat. All right. Councilmember Zito.
Move to close the public hearing.
Very good. May I have a second, please? Councilmember Edson, please vote to close the public hearing. Okay, that's unanimous. Council deliberation. Councilmember Zito.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. Happy to recommend staff recommendation and adopt resolution 2026-011 as outlined in the staff report. So moved.
Very good. And Councilmember Edson.
Would second that motion, and just with the comment that many of us have been through remodeling, and we understand that it's not always a very timely process. And
Right. Yes.
hang in there.
If I could, just for clarification, while the staff report reflected the original request of 8 months, that has been amended for the full 12 months.
Correct. So I don't know. I normally consider staff reports including the blue folder items, but for clarity, yes, my motion is staff report including the blue folder item that was submitted for this meeting.
Very good. All right. I'm able to make all the findings, and so I'll now call for the vote. Okay, that passes unanimously. Congratulations. You have another year. On to K2.
Yes, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Item K2 is the public hearing at 506 Pacific Avenue. This is also a time extension 25-002. You had this item fairly recently. They requested a 6-month time extension. So before you today, and what our community development director will share with you is a request for a 1-year extension. And with that, I'll turn over to Joe Lim.
Thank you. Again, this is their second time extension request. The council had previously approved a 6-month time extension, thinking they would have been able to get SDG&E's permitting and work done associated with their gas line lateral. It has taken some time. We did receive confirmation today that it is scheduled for next week. So to some extent, this extension might be moot, but we would still recommend a extension in case something doesn't work out in their favor related to that request. The DRP was originally approved back in August of 2022 by the Boyds. The Sevillas have since purchased this property. We are recommending a 1-year extension just in case there is some unknown delay as a result. We recommend that the City Council conduct the public hearing and if you can make the required findings, adopt Resolution 2026-012, extending their entitlements through February 24th, 2027.
Very good. I'll open the public hearing, and we'll go to disclosures. I was on the council that approved this project. I have no further disclosures on down the line.
I was not on the city council in 2022 when this was approved, but I believe that there was a previous extension when I was on the city council, and I did approve that. So that's my disclosure.
Okay. Councilmember Zito.
Yes, I was on the council for the original approval as well as the first extension request and supported those. I have had no conversations with anybody about this project outside of that.
What Dave said.
Very good.
What Dave and Jewel said.
Very good. All right. Any questions of staff? Councilmember Zito.
Yeah, a quick one, and I appreciate the update on SDG&E. It does seem like, given that we have the highest utility rates in the entire country, we could get better service. So I don't know, maybe we could, do we reach out to them about this kind of stuff and say, why are you guys taking so long?
I'll let the city manager.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. I have a regular meeting with our governmental liaison with SDG&E, and had a meeting just yesterday. So I asked for inquiries about this. They also are rolling out under their new president. They had some change in their management or their executive level. Some additional programs around trying to be more on time with these customer needs or service changes. And so the anticipation is that we'll start to see shorter timeframes for requests, whether it's related to gas infrastructure, such as this one, for private property or for residential and small commercial, or the electrical upgrades that are needed for new projects and for those upgrades to single-family homes.
Thank you for that. Okay, no other questions. Is the applicant here? You have 15 minutes to speak if you would like to. Please state your name.
My name is Eric Buchanan. I'm with Oasis Architecture. And yes, as Joe mentioned, the gas line work is scheduled for Monday. So We're
Fingers
hoping
crossed.
that actually happens this time. The electrical service has been disconnected, so that's step one, which is great. We're just waiting for both gas and electric to be disconnected so that we can get that form submitted. Everything else at the building department is signed off and ready for issuance.
Very good. All right. If you could please fill out a speaker slip if you haven't already. He already did. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks. All right. May I have a motion to close the public hearing? Motion by Edson, second by by Becker. There you go. Please vote. Public hearing is closed. Council deliberation. Councilmember Edson?
Yes, I'm able to make all findings and move that we adopt Resolution 2026-112 or 012, sorry, approving the request for a time extension for 1 year for approvals and entitlements in this case.
Very good. Please press the motion button. And may I have a second? Councilmember Zito is a second. I will call for the vote. And that passes unanimously. Good luck on Monday. All right, City Manager, our final public hearing.
Yes, our final public hearing this evening is an amendment to the SANDAG 2025 Regional Transportation Improvement Program. I'd like to ask the Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council, if you are interested, we can waive this presentation or do a quick overview, as this is an annual update to a regional programming.
Just a very brief overview would be appreciated.
Excellent. With that, I'll turn it over to Public Works Director Aurelia DeBrawl. Thank you.
Just what it is and, and
Yes, we are. It's actually reprogramming funding for the pavement management program. So during our last amendment, we did not carry forward funds. So this allows us to fund existing work that's already occurred.
Very good. All right. Any questions? I will open the public hearing. Deputy Mayor McDonald.
The amounts are very small, and that's because it's carryover and not because these are original projects.
That's correct.
Just in case anyone's read the notice. Thanks.
Very good. Okay, I see no other questions. There's no applicant. Oh, disclosures. Disclosures. I'm on the board of directors of SANDAG, which receives this.
I do not have any disclosures.
I'm the chair of the Transportation Committee at SANDAG, which also receives this report.
I'm on the board of directors and alternate on Transportation Committee at SANDAG, which received this report.
Very good.
I'm the chair of a SANDAG subcommittee, but we don't receive this.
All right, very good. We've done our disclosures. There's no applicants, so may I have a motion to please close the public hearing? Councilmember Becker, may I have a second? Councilmember Edson, please vote to close the public hearing. That is unanimous and council deliberation. Councilmember Zito, sorry.
No worries. This is important to do. It's just perfunctory. I think I make a motion to adopt staff recommendation and adopt resolution 2026-014 as outlined in the staff report.
Very good. Thank you for that motion. And may I have a second? Councilmember Becker. I'll call for the vote. Okay, that passes unanimously. Off the report goes. City Manager, we're now on to our staff reports. The first one is annual citizen commission appointments.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Deputy Mayor, members of the council, and members of the public who are in attendance this evening. We're pleased to bring to you this evening the appointments for our 2026 Citizen Commission appointments. We appreciate volunteers like this that take time out of their days to aid the city in areas of their expertise, passion, and interest. And so with that, I will turn it over to Angela Ivy, our city clerk, to just frame the conversation and then turn it over to the council.
Thank you, City Manager. The city has 5 exciting commissions of community volunteers that serve 2-year terms, and we had 20 applicants apply during the recruitment period, and this is the time of year that council considers those applicants for the next 2-year period, 2-year term. Thank you.
Do we have any speakers on this item? Let's call the speakers first.
Gabby Coolball. You have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Gabby. I have applied for the Parks and Rec Commission position. I live in Solana Beach. Obviously, we've lived here for, my husband and I have lived here for the last 3 or so years, and I love the city. I love our third spaces, our public spaces, and I'd love the opportunity to support them and give back to them. My background is in science. I have a bachelor's in biology, and I worked in academic research, specifically genetic. In that role, I kind of became more data-driven and or more detail-oriented and long-term planning-oriented, which I think would be useful when it comes to the Parks and Rec planning long-term for our parks. And then I also have experience in nonprofits. So I worked at a local nonprofit called the Vision of Children Foundation, where we raise money for genetic research, which is how it ties into my science background. But we planned a lot of events. We planned a concert with the Beach Boys at the Sound, actually, and only 3 of us employees. So we hosted quite a large event. With that event experience, I'm good with vendor management, like public outreach, logistics, all of that, which I hope would be helpful when it comes to doing our events in the city. So yeah, overall, I would like the opportunity to contribute to the Parks and Rec, and I also would like to help with the events. I love a holiday. I'll hang up the Christmas tree ornaments. I'll hide the Easter eggs. I like it all. So thank you guys for the opportunity to let me speak tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers? That's all. Okay. All right. So let's do this. We'll go from left to right in our chart here. So we'll start, it's in alphabetical order, with Budget and Finance. And in this committee, we have 2 appointments by council members. The first is by Councilmember Becker, and the second is by Councilmember McDonald. So would you like to please, Councilmember Becker?
Yes, I would like to reappoint Scott Hermes. He has been an excellent Budget and Finance Commission member. He attended all of the meetings, and he is willing to serve again. So I'd like to nominate him.
Very good. And Deputy Mayor McDonald?
So I would like to reappoint Larry Marmon. I noticed on the date that he reapplied on the 12th of December, which is probably like right when the applications came out. And I would say that he is an enthusiastic member and is really enjoying his time on Budget and Finance.
Very good. Do we do a motion for each one or for each commission?
It's always cleaner if we can do each commission.
Each commission.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have is a motion for reappointing Larry Marmon and Scott Hermes. Motion by, I'm gathering, Councilmember Becker, and a second by Deputy Mayor McDonald. Please push the motion button and second button. Very good, and let's vote. Okay, that's unanimous for those 2 appointments. Next is the Climate Action Commission. Councilmember Redson? I saw your arm heading that way.
I would like to reappoint Heather Rock, but however, as a resident versus as a professional.
Very good. I would like to let's see, appoint Michelle Buchanan. Councilmember Zito.
Yeah, I was just, I probably should have started out again as well being the person on or the council member of the commission, but just reiterating, I think, and I made this comment last year and it still applies, which is the, that commission suffered an enormous amount of turmoil a few years ago, and then also went through COVID, and it's taken a while to get its feet underneath it again and start really being productive. In the past year or two, it's been doing much better, and so I would encourage us to do our best at keeping existing commissioners on that are productive. So that would also include Heidi, and then beyond, so we've already done the existing two, which is great. So I would encourage us to do the third one, being Heidi as well. She's a very, very, very good contributor to that commission. Beyond that, it's a difficult choice. See, I think Matthew's in the audience. I can't tell. Yeah, so he didn't want to speak. But he did show up, and I do think it would be an interesting choice to have him be our professional member as well.
I agree.
So with that, if people are happy, I'm happy to make a motion that we appoint Michelle, Heather, and Heidi to the vacancies for public members, and then Matthew as the professional.
Very good. Who would like to second that? Councilmember
I would
Becker?
like to second that.
Okay, very good. Let's vote. That passes unanimously. We're on to Parks and Rec, and I'll start. I was very impressed with our speaker, Gabby Kulba's resume from the very beginning. The events planning is super important. So I'd like to appoint Gabby Kulba to Parks and Rec. Anybody else here? Councilmember Edson?
Sure. I would like to reappoint Michael Budelsky.
Very good. So those are the 3 vacancies.
Shane Neruzzi.
Shane Neruzzi, yeah. Is
Oh, down at the bottom. Yeah, I'm like, where is it?
Oh,
Where is it?
yeah.
Shane Neruzzi. Okay, Shane Neruzzi. All right. So I'll make that motion. And who would like to second? Councilmember Zito. I'll call for that vote. That passes unanimously.
One more. Oh, thanks.
Okay. All right. And now we're on to public arts. Okay. I would like to appoint Mark Meny, who I see is in the audience. And who else? Councilmember Edson?
Yes, I would like to appoint Sharon Klein. Sharon stepped away for another person to be able to serve last appointment cycle, and I know she's back. I know that she attended every meeting, even though she wasn't on the commission for the last year, and her heart's really in it. So I would like to reappoint Sharon.
Yeah, she's been a long-serving.
Yes.
And very interested in public arts.
Yes.
And Mariel Meyer, anybody would like to go there? Yeah. So, Councilmember, Deputy Mayor?
I will recommend appointing her, or
Okay.
reappointing her.
Very good. I'll make that motion. Who would like to second? Councilmember Edson, please vote. Okay. That passes unanimously. We're on to view assessment, and I will say that is one of the committees that I think it only met twice last year. And they go through an They go through an extensive amount of training. It would be my recommendation that we reappoint those who have been serving. Councilmember Edson?
Yes, I would second that. As someone who probably served the longest on the back of all of us, with at least 3 of us having served on the back, I know how important the amount of time it takes to train the commission members, how much it's just it's a quasi-judicial commission. It's a little different than the others. So I agree.
Okay, so that would be Linda Nazar, Pat Code, Frank Stribling, and Bob Zajac.
Yes.
Okay. Who would like to make that motion? Councilmember Edson made the motion.
I think it was Zito was up. I'm sorry.
Oops.
No, I mean, I was assuming you were going to
okay.
make a motion, so I was just going to second
Well, it
it.
looks like Councilmember McDonald
jeez.
beat you. Oh, wait.
No.
Where are we going? So somebody push the motion button.
Listen, Councilmember.
Councilmember Edson?
I'll go
And we
ahead
have a
and
second, please. Councilmember Zito. Okay, we'll vote now for view assessment appointments. That passes 5-0. Okay. Go ahead, Councilmember
I
McDonald.
just want to say that in the past, we've had to go back and look for people to be appointed to these commissions. And the fact that we had an oversubscription this year makes me think that our city is doing very well. And thank you all for applying. If you did not get appointed this year, doesn't mean we aren't interested in having you come and participate. The commission meetings are open to the public, and we hope that you'll join us at a later date.
Yes, thank you so much for saying that. And thank you to everybody who has applied and who has served. These are really important roles in our city. Much appreciated. Councilman Bredson.
Yes, if I could just kind of add on to what Deputy Mayor McDonald just mentioned. I had, shared that Sharon Klein came all year long to public arts, even though she was no longer on the commission. And I know we had a really good candidate for climate resiliency that was not appointed, and I really encourage her to come and do the same thing, because you learn so much. It just means that you're not voting. That's all.
Yeah, you get to speak and everything.
Exactly.
And maybe I'll add to that, in particular with the Climate Resiliency Commission, we have subcommittees, 6 subcommittees, I believe. And so there's lots to do. And I think that's the same with all 5 of those commissions. So thank you for making those notes.
Very good. Okay, we're on to our second staff report. City Manager.
Yes, item L2 is for the Coastal Rail Trail. This is for the purchase and installation of 2 CalSense irrigation controllers, master valve, and water pressure regulator. This item is before you today as it is a direct contracting or a sole source for purchase. And staff, Public Works Director Aurelia DeBrawl will give a brief presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council. I'm Aurelia DeBrawl, your Public Works Director. Tonight, I'm presenting a request to amend our existing professional services agreement with NISHO of California to replace outdated irrigation equipment along the Coastal Rail Trail. In May 2023, Council approved the landscape maintenance PSA with NISHO. The CRT irrigation system was installed in 2004 and includes 5 controllers. 3 controllers have been replaced, and we still have 2 remaining units that are nearly 20 years old each. Through the contract amendment with NISHO, the city will modernize the entire Coastal Rail Trail irrigation system and standardize equipment across the corridor. The amendment includes installation of 2 new CalSense controllers, a master valve, a pressure regulator, and associated hardware. Public Works staff are trained in advanced irrigation system operations and will support ongoing maintenance optimization. The upgraded system will improve water management, reduce water loss, and provide reliable performance in corrosive marine environments. The purchase of the new equipment is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act with an estimated cost of approximately $61,000. There was a correction in the staff report. The funding source for this item will be the miscellaneous CIP fund. So staff, I apologize.
What?
I wasn't going through the presentation. I apologize. So staff recommends adopting Resolution 2026-009 to amend the PSA with NISHO to complete the irrigation upgrades, appropriate funding, and amend the current year budget. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Aurelia. I am so happy to see this. I can't tell you the number of times I've noticed little puddles where there's just one little emitter that's just spitting out, hours and hours. So this will be able to sense that, and then staff will be able to come out and change it, or can you remotely fix that?
We can actually remotely fix it, and there's dashboards that allow them to monitor the water use and any breaks and leaks in the system. But we still do have full-time staff that walk along the CRT and regularly look for any irrigation leaks.
Very good. And in terms of, because I've noticed, over the years, there have been times when something broke, wasn't noticed, and then the tree died. So that's still a human function. CalSense isn't going to be able to identify the fact that, well, maybe it will. It'll be able to identify the fact that it's not on.
Yes, so currently 3 of the controllers are modernized, but the 2 who aren't, so they weren't talking to each other. So this will give us a fully integrated system that we're able to monitor and get those notices earlier.
Excellent news. All right. Any other questions of staff? No. Do we have any speakers, City Clerk? No speakers. All right. May I have a motion, please? Councilmember Zito.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and make a motion that we adopt staff recommendation, adopt Resolution 2026-009 as outlined in the staff report, and did also want to make a comment that actually not just outlined in the staff report, is outlined in the blue folder as well, because I did want to make a comment that I appreciate the shift of the funds coming from the MIS CIP versus public recreation impact fees, because since the public recreation impact fees are beach seawall fees, I would encourage us to focus those on projects that are related to beach access. But thanks, that's my motion.
Very good. May I have a second? Councilmember Edson, that's a second.
It's a second.
Okay, I'll call for the vote. That passes unanimously. Okay, we're on to our final item of the evening.
And before I do that, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that our Deputy Director of Public Works, Luis Carrillo, is and his whole staff do such a great job at looking at where we need to make these improvements and to manage the beautiful parts of our city and then the functional parts of our city. So I want to give that acknowledgement to our Public Works staff for all the work that they're doing.
Ditto from us.
The last item is an update to the legislative policy for 2026. This was a report that the council adopted for the first time in its current form last year. So this is our first amendment to that. We'll be bringing this back on an annual basis. One of the things, Dan King, our assistant city manager, will present on this. But one of the things we will be doing is we are a little bit into the legislative session now. We want to adjust that so that it's more in line and we get the council and the public input to the legislative policy before that session starts. So we'll be coming back to you again in the fall with an update from this session that will complete around September, and then look ahead to the 2027 legislative session. So with that, I'll turn it over to Dan King.
Thank you, City Manager, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Deon Akers, our Government Affairs Manager. This is really his baby. I get the honor of doing the presentation, but he has a family commitment, so he couldn't make it tonight. But this is really all him, not me. I'm just doing the presentation tonight.
Thanks,
so.
Dan.
So good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. As City Manager introduced, this item is before you to consider the 2026 legislative policy. So it is standard and expected practice for municipal governments and agencies to regularly monitor, evaluate, and express positions on important legislation and regulatory changes with potentially significant impacts on the city. In Solana Beach and many cities, these legislative and advocacy efforts are guided by council-approved legislative policy. The legislative policy serves as our direct voice and conveys to legislators, policymakers, and the public the council's priorities for policies, projects, and budgets for the year ahead. While many issues and topics will remain important for a city indefinitely, annual budgets, legislative cycles, and new or emerging issues that demand attention give cause for annual review and updating of legislative policy. Additionally, the formation of legislative policy is a key first step in the city's annual planning efforts. So legislative policy guides the upcoming work plan in the spring, which then informs the development or adjustment of the budget by the end of the fiscal year, which then can come back again to the legislative policy to guide future year grant funding and legislative or regulatory needs. So legislative policy largely guides all of our advocacy efforts and allows the council, the mayor, and or the city manager to express opinion directly when an issue falls into one of our current priority areas. So our legislative policy focuses on the 5 key areas that you see on the screen: affordable housing and livable communities, transportation and mobility, environmental sustainability and energy, youth, senior, and community well-being, and general governance and fiscal responsibility. So following approval of the policy, the city has multiple ways to execute on advocacy and legislative priorities. These include writing letters to legislators and colleagues. Staff and council members have in-person engagements, such as lobbying or meetings or direct asks. The city and our department heads will submit formal, official public comments to government agencies and regulators excuse me, regarding new laws or policies. We often add our voice to the efforts of our trade association efforts. And finally, we employ consultants in Sacramento and Washington, D.C. to lobby on our behalf. So I won't go through all the dates listed for Congress and state legislature, but would remind the council that Congress does not have a set deadline nor limit for bills being introduced. So that happens all year. In Sacramento, there's a schedule closely followed every year with a session beginning in January and ending in September. So lastly on the slide, some recent advocacy actions and wins. We've engaged heavily recently on the housing bills SB 79 and 677. The council recently took up additional action opposing offshore drilling in federal waters. And just last week, we accepted a $300,000 in state funds, as we presented earlier tonight, for one of our priority community projects, the Coastal Rail Trail Extension. So now we'll go briefly through each of the priority areas of the policy and highlight new policy actions that have been added. So the first is the affordable housing and livable communities. There are 5 actions for this priority area, with 4 carrying over from last year, and added this year is an action to advocate for policies to allow municipalities the first right of refusal to purchase deed-restricted affordable housing units to further subsidize units towards low and very low income area median income categories. So broadly, we're hoping to expand the options for the city to work with the developers and partners to hopefully bring online more units of housing for our most in-need residents in lower ends of the spectrum. Next is transportation and mobility. There are 6 actions for this priority area, with the latest addition shown on the slide to support e-bike policies that increase safety, training, and use standards for youth in schools. The use of e-bikes and e-mobility devices continue to increase in our region, and unfortunately, safety concerns and inconsistent uses of these devices also continue to rise. We intend to build on existing relationships with our school and law enforcement partners to further increase safety, training, and standards for their use in the city. The third priority area is environmental sustainability and energy. There are 6 actions for this priority area, and our latest policy action added will see us pursue local and state regulatory changes to further bolster urban agricultural opportunities, including residential hen and beekeeping allowances. Youth, senior, and community well-being is the 4th priority area. The city is committed to enacting policies and implementing programs that will help seniors age in place, knowing that most desire to stay in the community as they age. The city is also committed to continuing implementing programs and policies to further our welcoming community status that emphasizes kindness, inclusion, and community engagement. And the city will continue to advocate for policies that prioritize prevention, education, and collaboration with community stakeholders, recognizing that a strong, unified approach is key to combating the growing issue. All of the new policy action we are considering today, this may be the most dynamic and exciting. We will advocate for policies that would more clearly define assisted living facilities with the goal of recognizing certain assisted living units as affordable housing. And our final priority area is general governance and fiscal responsibility. There are 7 policy actions for this area, and you can see the new action for 2026 on the slide. As Solana Beach and municipalities across the state grapple with the growing needs of our communities and the increasing strain on aging infrastructure and limited resources, beginning this year, we will advocate for policies that would ensure the city can adequately meet public health and safety needs as it relates to the public infrastructure, facilities, and services needed to meet the demands of existing and future residents. Solana Beach is a beautiful place to live, and we are grateful that our city is such a desirable place to grow and thrive. We want to make sure that we have the resources and can provide the services needed for the current and future generations of Solana Beach. So moving on from the policy areas, I want to provide a look at a few priority projects as the city will seek additional funding and support for in the year ahead. As we discussed at the top of the presentation, the legislative policy is closely connected. In addition to informing the work plan and budget development here at City Hall, the legislative policy helps direct our efforts when it comes to seeking state, federal, and local grant dollars for projects that are both a priority for our city and a priority for our legislators and partners. By securing additional resources, we will ensure that the city's legislative priorities are not only realized, but also sustainable in the long run. So first is the Marine Safety Center upgrades, which has been discussed many times at the council and has seen our great progress in recent years. Currently in the design phase, we'll be seeking funding to complete this project, highlighting its multifaceted uses and potential for Solana Beach and the region. We'll also be prioritizing various asks to support our new fire management and organizational setup. As we venture into a new era of our fire management with Del Mar, there are many opportunities for funding but we'll also be looking to secure money for vital upgrades to our current assets, such as the in-house fire station alert system. The Loma Santa Fe Improvements Project is an ambitious, ongoing project for the city, aiming to make significant upgrades to both the east and west sections of the roadway. We will be looking for design and capital funding. And of course, we're still focused on finishing the CRT extension at the northern end of the city. Both this project and Loma Santa Fe recently received funding or grant awards, and we intend to build on that success until future funding is identified and secured. So in closing, staff recommends council adopt resolution 2026-020, approving the 2026 legislative policy. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Dan. Council, any questions? I don't see any questions. Thank you so much for this, and thank you for doing this for Dion. Dion and the city manager and I just met with Congressman Levin's representative and actually advocated for those items that you listed on the previous slide. So hopefully we'll see some results of that. And I was in Sacramento the past 2 days advocating for some other issues as well that were noted on the slide, particularly SB 677, which has become SB 908, and looking for amendments to that. And I really appreciate, again, I'll say this again, I really love the categories that the city manager came up with last year. I think it really encompasses everything clearly and succinctly, and it'll be a great way to build off our work plan and our budget, and in an organized way that we can all keep track of everything. Councilmember Edson.
I was also going to comment on the fact that the organization is so clean now, and everything is so synchronized from one to the next. So the steps that we're taking are very clear. Excellent job, city manager, and also excellent job, Dion, for putting together this legislative policy.
Very good. Thank you, Councilmember Zito.
And just for my clarity, questions or comments, because
both.
normally we do comments after public speakers, but maybe we don't have any public speakers.
I see there's
thanks.
those. Yeah.
Just checking. So we're taking comments now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just one high-level comment in the future. Again, I concur with my colleague here. Great job. I like it. But in the future, it might be useful if we want to talk about specific things, if instead of bullets, they're actually 2.1 or 2.2 or 2.3, they're numbered. So we can say, oh, I want to talk about this particular item.
Yeah.
But then, because I do want to talk about one, which was one of the ones we added this year, may not be a surprise to my colleagues, but one, I want to note that I definitely support the categorization and the things that we have in there, but the given that this is supposed to authorize staff to be able to talk about things and advocate for things, the one specifically around e-bike policies concerns me a little bit around the breadth. And so I just was wondering if we could add something when it's talking about e-bike policies that increase safety training and use standards for youth in schools, that, relative to the use standards, they would be low cost and low effort, so to speak, or, just not overly burdensome, and how we could incorporate language like that, because I don't necessarily support all of the initiatives that have occurred at the state level, and need to be able to figure out how to be able to express that. Would want the council to have some discussion about that before we support a bill that may be going too far in some ways.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Zito. And we could even make the amendment with respect to the bullets when we go to produce the final version. So as you consider your motion and your adoption tonight, we can make that change pretty easily. That's a good point. The use standards, if you would prefer, we could just omit that terminology because it is a little ambiguous. It can mean many things. And really, for the purpose of this legislative policy, the authorization or that delegation to sign off to oppose legislation or promote legislation related to safety and training, that can really be tailored to this. And then we can have more discussions over the next couple months about where we may want to broaden or focus in as it relates to those standards or those operational requirements for youth in our city.
Yeah, that sounds good to me, and I'm okay with that. I just want to, I'd be interested in having more conversation and focusing this down a little bit better. The other comment I did want to make is I did notice that, this is focused specifically on e-bikes. I've noticed other jurisdictions such as Carlsbad actually have been tackling any motorized transportation, not just e-bikes. And it was actually relatively recently where my father just made a comment like, "Wow, I just saw this kid blow down your street on a scooter, and it, without a helmet, looked like they were about 8 years old." And so it might be worthwhile to actually incorporate, besides just targeting e-bikes, incorporating these micro mobility motorized capabilities. What type of training and or safety regulation should go with any of them?
What are those things called that have just the one wheel? And
They're called one wheel.
They're called one wheel?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
One wheel.
We can adjust that to be
Yeah.
electronic micromobility.
Yeah,
and
something like that. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I see nobody else with questions, so may I have a motion, please, to adopt this legislative policy with the noted changes by Councilmember Zito in that one item and the formatting. Councilmember Zito.
So moved.
Very good. Councilmember Edson.
Second.
Okay, we'll call for the vote. That passes unanimously.
Thank you very much. And that will start to feed into our work plan, which we'll be bringing to the council to start the conversations in April and wrapping that up by June. And then concurrently that mid-cycle budget conversation for any amendments that we need. And I anticipate we'll be bringing forward some amendments related to our fire management, as there will be different costs and some new costs that we didn't have previously under the co-op.
Okay, very good. All right, so that ends sort of the action part, and we are on to, hey, where's my little flag? We're on to compensation disclosures. I was in Sacramento, as I said, and San Diego will be paying for the per diems and my travel and overnight expenses. Council, did you want to say?
No disclosures.
No? Okay. Councilmember Zito, Edson, Becker, anything? Councilmember Edson.
Yes, I attended the Secretary of State's of Transportation. Sorry, not Secretary of State. State Secretary of Transportation's LoSAN working group meeting in LA, and NCTD paid for my transportation.
Very good. All right. Anybody have any commission reports? No? All right. Well, it's the end of the evening. I would like to adjourn this meeting honoring the memories of Dave Hodges and Michael Mejia. Good night, all.